What's going on, internet? It's the Mass Man. Um, Today I want to talk about, what is and what is not hip hop. Now, I'm far from an expert on music. I love entertainment. I love the media. When I say the media, I mean I love a lot, of, consumable information products. I love consuming information. But when it comes to music, I've always liked music. I've never loved it. I've never loved music. I've liked music. And I've never really pursued music. I've never really gone out of my way to listen to it. I've never gone out of my way to find it. Most of the people that I like, I like them as personalities. And because I like them as a person, I find their music like David Banner. Before I became a fan of the stuff that he does on records, I heard what he had to say. I heard, his philosophies and his ideas. And I said, I like this brother as a man. So that made me go back and check out his music. Similar thing with 50 Cent, but for different reasons, you know, and a couple of other people. So I'm not really a big fan of music, but I am, you know, a big fan of black folks, and I'm a big fan of protecting, the culture, and the things that we produce and the things that we create. And I recently saw a very brief video. I'm not going to call it an interview because the way that DJ Vlad cuts videos is not an interview. I saw a video of a guy by the name of Taxstone. Now I assume that this guy's a rapper. Um, and he was talking about Iggy Azalea and how Iggy Azalea is hip hop. Now DJ Vlad brought up the fact that Erica Badu in her monologue on the Soul Train Awards discussed or made a comment that Iggy Azalea is not hip hop. And Taxstone disagreed with the statement, and he kept, oscillating between how is she not a rapper? She is hip hop. He oscillated between those two phrases. Um, and the problem I had with what Taxstone said, the problem I had with what he said is that he was equating rap music or rhyming words with being hip hop or being a hip hop artist or being authentically um, embraced by hip hop culture. Um, then he talked about Slim Jesus, and how he likes Slim Jesus because he's real about being fake. And what I will say, what I will say is this: he made this comparison that everybody who is quote unquote in quote unquote hip hop is fake. He mentioned T.I.'s name. He said T.I. wasn't really out there in the streets, but he was a legitimate businessman. Now, he prefaced himself by saying, I'm not saying that T.I. doesn't wow, but he got a family. He's a legal businessman. He was basically saying everybody that is in hip hop is fake, and that hip hop is fake. And so, how is Iggy not a rapper for, being phony like everybody else? Now, to answer or to respond to Taxstone, Um, Iggy Azalea is very much a rapper, very much a rapper, because all you have to do to be a rapper is to rhyme words for a profession as your profession. You know, if you get paid to rhyme words together, you are a rapper. Jesse Jackson is a rapper. I mean, just rhyming words together, that's what being a rapper is. Now maybe I'm being a little facetious, but if you rhyme words over a beat, that makes you a rapper. Let me be a little bit more direct. Rhyming words over a beat makes you a rapper. But does that make you hip hop? The insinuation that Taxstone had was, and I'm using Taxstone, but I'm really talking to a larger, it's really beyond Taxstone. It's this idea of what hip hop is. That hip hop has always been phony. It's always been fake. It's always been about perpetrating a fraud and embracing a lifestyle and life that you don't live, and things that you don't intend to do, and people that you don't intend to harm. That's always been what hip hop is about. And she is very much in line and in step with the legacy of that. And that, as far as my research and as far as my um understanding goes, that is not what hip hop is about. According to KRS-One, hip hop is about four elements. If I can remember correctly, breaking, MCing, graffiti, DJing. Those were the four elements of hip hop. Now, MCing is not just about rhyming words. It's about rocking the mic. It's about utterance. It's about saying something profound. It's about taking control of the stage, not about perpetrating a fraud. As hip hop advanced, hip hop became about being the nicest, having the best lines, having the best lyrics, having the best lyrical content. And within that, having a message, having a purpose, saying something worth listening to, saying something relevant. There was an emphasis on authenticity. There were penalties for jacking niggas' styles, for jacking niggas' lyrics, for, dressing up like a nigga, biting. There were penalties in the game. You could get your ass whooped for stealing, from another rapper, from a quote unquote rapper. These were MCs. These were not rappers. These were not just rhymers of words. They were MCs. Their lyrics had a message, had a purpose. They weren't not all perpetrating a fraud. They were storytellers. They were communicating about poverty. They were communicating about life. They were teaching or kicking knowledge. You have guys who were deep and who were commenting on deep things. You had guys who were street, who were commenting on street life. But there was a thread throughout all of hip hop that was about authenticity. And authenticity was the basis of hip hop: being authentic, being original, being relevant, being nice, being good at rhyming, being dope with your rhymes, and being able to get up and kill a nigga lyrically, to be able to lyrically murder a nigga. The competitive element was in hip hop. The problem that hip hop had back then and has to this day is that there were no oversight to keep the rules in place, and there was no inbuilt mechanism for being compensated for the work that you were producing. So as hip hop gradually became more and more popular, more and more mainstream, their business side wasn't together, and hip hop got bastardized. Hip hop got taken over by corporate interests who manipulated the direction and changed the focus of hip hop and what hip hop music was made to represent and what hip hop music was made to stand for. Hip hop was a powerful form of communication, a powerful form of entertainment and artistic expression. I'm not here to say that music can change the world. I'm just not, I just don't agree with the statement that hip hop is founded on fraud and phoniness and lying. That is not the a fundamental element of true hip hop, but that is rap music. Rap music of today is very much about lying, is very much about being a fraud, is very much about pandering to the lowest common denominator, having no versatility, no variety, and, a lack of deep thought and a lack of relevant information to give to a mass audience. It does not feed people's intelligence. It doesn't inspire people to be better, and it doesn't challenge people because, according to people who are decision makers or who are analysts, people don't want to listen to that deep shit all the time. Sometimes you just want to nod your head. Well, you can nod your head to some deep shit. Everything ain't got to be so complex that it gives you a headache trying to figure out what it means, but everything can always have a message in it. So this idea that you can't have a message and a good time at the same time is ridiculous. But hip hop has improved and hip hop is getting better, and there are, more mainstream artists who are rapping with some lyrical content, with some skill, with a purpose in what they rhyme about. Um, you got guys that are being celebrated for being focused on lyricism. Guys like Kendrick Lamar, guys like J. Cole, even Drake. I don't think anything that Drake says is too profound and deep. Nor am I saying that Kendrick or J. Cole is necessarily saying a lot of deep and profound things, but they do care about their lyrics. They do care about the level of skill that they come into the game with. They do take their craft seriously. They do respect it to some degree, even if they're not walking in the footsteps of the giants of hip hop. So I just fundamentally disagree that a white girl from Australia who is rapping in a black scent, as Eve called it, who is rapping and trying to sound ethnic with the way that she raps, rapping in a stereotypical American black lady's voice. I don't feel that that's true hip hop. True hip hop, you can be a white person, you can be whatever, but you got to be real. You got to be authentic, and you got to be nice, and you got to have a message to be truly hip hop. Now, you can argue that hip hop is dead, or that hip hop is all underground, or that hip hop is whatever, but I don't believe that Iggy Azalea is a representative of hip hop. She's a female rapper. She's a pop act. She's a pop act. And she was so flagrant in her disrespect for the culture that she was inserting herself into, and burned so many bridges and disrespected so many people that nobody wants to fuck with her anymore. She fucked herself out the game because she couldn't play the game well enough. She was a decent enough rapper. I mean, she was, a decent enough looking female. She wasn't the most attractive woman in the world, but she looks all right. She ain't bad to look at. She's not ugly by any stretch of the imagination. She a decent looking white chick that can rap. I don't agree with people saying that she's garbage and that she's trash. Compared to who? The Migos? What, she's trash compared to them? Like, what are you comparing her to? Like, all this shit is whack. What, she's trash compared to who? Future? Can you listen to a Future song and write me the lyrics? I'm very interested in what this nigga's actually saying in his damn song. I don't know what the fuck that nigga is talking about. So this idea that she couldn't rap is the reason that she got ousted. No, she was very disrespectful. She didn't give a fuck about your culture and have no respect for you and no respect for her craft and no respect for history. Like, a lot of people don't have respect for history. They don't give a damn about the history of the place that they're stepping into. They feel like they can walk in and history begins when I show up. And I ain't got to show nobody who put in work to build up this industry, to build up this profession, to build up this culture, this art form at all. I ain't got to show them no respect because I'm here now and I make the rules, and the rules are whatever I say they are, or there are no rules at all. You don't get to make that choice. You don't get to make that distinction. And we got to call people out, whether they're white or black, trying to undermine and demean and degrade an art form. Hip hop is an art form. Rap is a business. Rap is about making money. Hip hop is about making sense. So that's what I have to say on this issue. Let me know what you think. Do you feel that Iggy Azalea is true hip hop? Is she real? Is she, doing is she a true hip hop act? Is she really representing the spirit, or is she a rapper? Or is she not even a rapper? Is she trash? Let me know what you think. Leave it in the comments. Rate the video, like it, dislike it, be honest. Subscribe to my channel. If there's anything that you would like me to talk about, you can send me an email at themrmassman@gmail.com. You can follow me on Twitter and Facebook at themrmassman. And you can find some of my videos on Daily Motion at themrmassman. That is all I have to say about this subject. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.